Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NWA Crockett Cup, live from Madison Square Garden. We have an amazing card for you tonight, starting off with the Crockett Cup final itself, as the Diamonds in the Rough of Jeremiah Plunkett and BK Westbrook take on Bishop Dyer and former member of the Crockett Cup, Spencer Slade, with Slade and Dyer's NWA World Tag Team Championships also on the line. We will also see Ortiz take on longtime rival Chris Brooks in a no-holds-barred match. This could possibly be Chris Brooks' last match in the NWA, as he does have an offer from AEW on the table. So we'll see who comes out victorious. Will Chris Brooks want to stay in the NWA and fight his best tonight, or will Ortiz overcome his longtime rival and send Brooks packing to AEW? And then in our main event, we have a fatal four-way for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, as Alec Price faces not just the challenge of one man or even two men, but three men, as he faces Punishment Martinez, Dozer, and his wild card partner Starboy Charlie. Can Alec Price overcome the odds tonight, or will he lose his NWA World's Heavyweight Championship on his first pay-per-view defense? We'll find out this and so much more tonight on NWA the Crockett Cup. So the Crockett Cup starts off with a pre-show match, and a 66 rated pre-show match. This match was to decide who the third and final team in the Triple Threat Ladder Match, or the Triple Threat Tag Team Ladder Match for the NWA United States Tag Team Championships will be. And it is Flying Flame that do win this match over former regime members of Steve Macklin and JT Dunn, meaning that Fuego del Sol and Oliver Carter do make their way to the United States Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Ladder Match. We'll then have another strong match in a 65 rated match. Weber Hatfield does defeat Sidney Akeem in 8 minutes by submission. Again, Sidney Akeem has signed with TNA and will be leaving in just over a month's time, but it is a big win for Weber Hatfield of the Revolution here tonight. And then in our final pre-show match, La Muerte Dorada defeat Ho Ho Hoon and Masaki Mochizuki when Bestia pins Mochizuki. Again, it is a really strong match, getting a good 64. Bendito getting the best, getting a 66. Bestia just behind him, getting a 60. It is a really strong win from La Muerte Dorada as they continue to build momentum towards the NWA World Tag Team Championships. The main show opens, however, with a strong 69 rated match, as we have a new NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, as Hook defeats Jack Cartwheel with a Red Rum. Again, Hook did get this match by attacking Jack Cartwheel and saying that he does what he wants when he wants, and he can have a championship match when he wants. And now he is the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, beating Jack Cartwheel. Both men getting really good performances. Hook getting a 61, Cartwheel getting a 60, equaling into a good 69 rated match. We'll then go to a strong 57 rated match, as Colton Gunn makes his fourth defense of the NWA World Television Championship, as he manages to defeat Alex Shelley in 7.5 minutes. Unfortunately, this win for Colton Gunn was not clean. He does have to use underhanded tactics to defeat Alex Shelley, so I'm sure the rivalry between these two men is not over yet, but is a big win and a big television title defense for Colton Gunn. We'll then go into a strong 59 rated match, as Joey D'Angelo makes his official NWA in-ring debut as he defeats Paris De Silva in just under 7 minutes. Again, D'Angelo does get a strong 58 rating. It is a very good rating for his first match here in the NWA, and he wants to continue to build momentum by winning more matches. After the match, Joey D'Angelo says that he dedicated his win tonight to his good friend Orange Cassidy, and he's so glad that Cassidy was able to watch his match from the crowd. Orange Cassidy is in the crowd for tonight. He's not booked on the show, so he's watching from the audience. And D'Angelo is obviously very happy that his apparent good friend, Orange Cassidy, could see him win his debut match here in the NWA. Again, there's been a weird sort of connection between these two in the last few weeks, that Joey D'Angelo seems to take a liking to Orange Cassidy. We'll have to see how this progresses. After this, however, the camera cuts backstage where they see RVD unconscious on the floor. Again, he's being tended to by security and local doctors, but it's clear that RVD has been attacked backstage, but we don't know who by. Again, so we don't know what's going to happen a bit later on. RVD was obviously scheduled to come out with Wildcard. Again, both Charlie and Price, because they are in the main event. But again, he seems to be attacked, so we don't know if he's going to be out there. We'll then go to a strong 62 rated match as Shaft manages to defeat Keith Lee in 8.5 minutes with a DD214. Again, it is a strong match here. Shaft and Keith Lee have great chemistry and it showed in their performance. Shaft gets a 58, Keith Lee gets a 48, and it is a big win for Shaft as he defeats another former champion in Keith Lee. Our next match is the Triple Threat Ladder match for the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. And it sees Jordan Devlin and Max the Impaler of the Forgotten win the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. But after Fuego del Sol, who was on top of the ladder, ready to retrieve the item, or ready to retrieve the championships, he was taken out by Shaft. So again, we don't know why Shaft has taken out Fuego del Sol and why Shaft has helped Jordan Devlin and Max the Impaler of the Forgotten win the NWA United States Tag Team Championships, but it may be explained at a later date, maybe even later on tonight. But it seems like Shaft may be having an alliance with the Forgotten. After this, however, we have another strong 70 rated match as Bojack makes his 8th defense of the NWA National Heavyweight Championship as he defies the odds by beating Big Bill, Eddie Edwards and Eddie Kingston when he pins Big Bill. Again, this is a really strong match. Bojack and Eddie Edwards both getting 65s, Big Bill getting a 61, Eddie Kingston lacking behind getting a 55. But it's a really strong match and a really big win for Bojack here as he makes his 8th defense of the National Heavyweight Championship, showing that he really is a star here in the NWA. After this, we have Lexi Cabrera backstage. She says that tonight will be her night to regain the NWA World Women's Championship, and nobody is going to stop her, and that match is up next. And in a really strong 74 rated eye candy match, Mai Saruga manages to defend her NWA World Women's Championship after she rolls up Natalia Markova. However, during the match, we saw the debut of Tay Mello as she came in and attacked Lexi Cabrera, targeting one of the biggest stars in the division for her debut. Again, Mai Saruga does make her first defense of the NWA World Women's Championship, but she is seemingly overshadowed by the debut of Tay Mello and her attack on Lexi Cabrera. After this, Tay Mello, she is standing over Lexi Cabrera outside the ring where she attacked her. She has cost her her NWA World Women's Championship. She stands over her, but also looking on at Mai Saruga celebrating in the ring, signifying that she may also want the NWA World Women's Championship. So a big debut from Tay Mello here, going for the biggest star in the women's division. We'll then go to a really strong 64 rated match as Trevor Lee manages to defeat Adam Copeland in 12.5 minutes by using, once again, underhand tactics. He low blowed Adam Copeland to get the win. So a huge win here for Trevor Lee over a legend in Adam Copeland. Copeland did debut just after Hard Times when John Cena obviously challenges Trevor Lee to find an opponent, and Adam Copeland was that opponent. But now Trevor Lee has managed to defeat Adam Copeland, again, not cleanly. This then goes into the final of the Crockett Cup as the Diamonds in the Rough come up just short of winning the Crockett Cup and becoming the NWA World Tag Team Champions, as Slade and Dyer do make their 6th defense and they win the Crockett Cup. Slade wins it for the 2nd time. This does happen when Slade pins BK Westbrook, but it is still a really strong 65 rated match. The Diamonds in the Rough have nothing to be ashamed of with this performance. It is an excellent match. They were complete underdogs going into the tournament and they made it all the way to the final. But it is a big win for Slade and Dyer, who keep their NWA World Tag Team Championships and become the winners of the Crockett Cup. After this, we have Alec Price backstage. He says that he needs to win tonight to seal his legacy here in the NWA. He has to put off what happened to RVD earlier tonight. He needs to put it in the back of his mind and focus on the task at hand, which is retaining his NWA World Heavyweight Championship. After this segment, however, we have a match between Chris Brooks and Ortiz. Again, this match isn't as good as their other matches they had, which obviously is a shame. That's why it does get a 41 rating. The creative finish we used was a failure. That probably helped or didn't help with the fact that the match wasn't great. It was the fourth time we've done it, and it does get an unfortunate 41. However, Chris Brooks has defeated Ortiz here in this no-holds-barred match. They do get good performances, obviously, as we've said, the match isn't as good as other matches they have had as of late. But Chris Brooks does have a huge win here against Ortiz. After the match, John Cena comes out to congratulate Chris Brooks on his very hard-fought win. But he also tries to have Chris Brooks sign a new and improved NWA contract. But Brooks is still undecided. He doesn't know whether he's going to stay or go to AEW. And once again, he walks away from John Cena, leaving Cena alone in the ring with Brooks' contract. After this, we have Masha Slamovich versus Yuka Sakazaki, in which sees Masha Slamovich defeat Yuka Sakazaki after a distraction from the Forgotten Son. The Forgotten Son is here at the Crockett Cup, and he has caused Yuka Sakazaki to lose to Masha Slamovich here tonight, and this has reverberations across this match as Yuka Sakazaki now has to join the Forgotten. But before we get into more, the Forgotten Son stands in the ring and reveals himself, and the Forgotten Son is revealed to be none other than Colby Corino. Corino is back in the NWA after a year out with a back injury, and he's here, and he is revealed to be the Forgotten Son. And now the Forgotten are more powerful than ever. Shaft has joined them in the ring, and Shaft is an official member of the Forgotten, recruited by Colby Corino. Corino is revealed to be the Forgotten Son. He is the leader of the Forgotten. And now, as we've said, Yuka Sakazaki must join the Forgotten after she lost this match to Masha Slamovich. So a huge turn of events here. Colby Corino is back in the NWA, and he is revealed to be the leader of the Forgotten, known as the Forgotten Son. We'll then go to our main event of the evening, as in a good 74 rated match. Alec Price manages to defeat Starboy Charlie, Punishment Martinez, and Dozer when he pins Dozer. This making it his second defense of the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Alec Price gets an excellent 84. Unfortunately, once again, the creative finish we used was a failure, which did hamper the match a bit, but it is still a big win for Alec Price over a very game Dozer, Punishment Martinez, and wildcard partner in Starboy Charlie, meaning that Alec Price retains the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. But after the match, Chris Brooks comes out onto the stage. He signals that he wants the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Again, we don't know, does this mean he's re-signed with the NWA? Or does Brooks plan on leaving the NWA high and dry as the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion? We'll have to tune in to NWA Power and NWA USA to figure out what is going on with Chris Brooks. This show does get an overall rating of 68, which is an okay show. Overall, it does increase our popularity in 48 regions. I think we were let down a bit by the main event and obviously the Brooks versus Ortiz match, but it is still a decent enough show. It doesn't lose us popularity anywhere, so it is still a decent enough show, and hopefully we can grow in specific regions that we need to get other TV deals in other countries, and that we'll see now. So we will be praising Alec Price, Lexi Guerrero, and Colby Corino, so we'll see how they react. Alec Price was happy, Colby Corino seemed pleased, and Lexi Carrera was pleased as well. There was an injury, so I'll have a look at our financial report. And we made $436,000 on this show. Ticket sales were massive, 351,500. This because the Madison Square Garden was completely sold out on this show. We sold out Madison Square Garden tonight. Pay-per-view revenue was 126,000, which is obviously very good as well. So a huge profit made here tonight at the Crockett Cup. If we have a look at our popularity, we've gone up in many different regions. Again, we've gone up to the heights of 58 in the USA. The regions that are white haven't actually improved, which is unfortunate. We've also gone up in every region of Canada. We've gone up to 49 in Centro. We've gone up in most regions of the UK as well. And we've gone up to 36 in Kansai in Japan. We are only one popularity point away now from getting a better TV deal off of YouTube for the British Isles, which will also make us have broadcasting rights in Europe as well. But we need to get one more. We need to get 35 in another region, and we will officially be there. So we are very close to getting another TV deal. But we do also have a media scrum to deal with. So, Joe and D'Angelo, again, we're going to play it by ears so as not upset anyone. Adam Copeland, again, we're going to have a lot of these because we have made a good few signings recently. Maxine Paler, are you going to have a time in the coming months? Going to get behind them for a big push. Crockett Cup, success, huge success. Whole roster should be very proud, of course. His deal is coming up. Again, it depends on his wage demands. If I'm truly honest, Manic, his deal is coming up. Don't know if I'm going to re-sign him or not. We'll have to wait and see. Mike Mondo didn't appear, and he's been public about his disappointment. Again, break, he remains an important part in the NWA. He does remain an important part. He just wasn't on the card tonight. The media scrum has been completed. No one's been annoyed, so that is all good. But now, I'll see you back at the home screen. So here we are, back at the home screen. The one thing that's really taken my eyes is right at the top. Apparently there's a new stable in WWE called the Buccaneers, in which it contains Cody Rhodes, Bron Breakker, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory. So, a different stable there, especially with the name. But again, seems could be a good stable. We have a look at our emails to see our viewership. Again, Paris de Silva has left. That was his final appearance. Our buy rate was 106,000 buys, which obviously is very, very good. Same as our viewership. So it is a strong viewership for the Crockett Cup. Again, if I go back to the home screen or the office area, I'll tell you one small thing that some people may have noticed with keen eyes. Over the past few weeks, you have seen somebody called Sam Ryan wrestle on NWA pre-shows. If I get my show history up, I'll get him up, and I'll tell you that I actually made a little bit of a lie with Sam Ryan, and I'll show you that in a second. So right here you can see Sam Ryan defeated Michael Elgin. If I click on this, I don't know if it's going to bring up the Sam Ryan that we know, but no, it doesn't. Sam Ryan was just a way for me to get Colby Corino back in ring so he's not as rusty for this, obviously, entire plan of him being the Forgotten Son. I did think he was going to be ready for hard times, but obviously I miscalculated and he wasn't back in time. So I did wait until he was back, give him a few matches on pre-shows as Sam Ryan, so hopefully maybe some people noticed that it was Colby Corino, but he is now officially back and he is now a heel and he is now a member of the Forgotten. He's the leader of the Forgotten as the Forgotten Son. So we had a lot shaking up tonight in the NWA. But this is where I'm going to end the episode. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and make sure you come back for NWA Power and NWA USA when we find out what's happening with Chris Brooks and why Colby Corino has turned his back on the NWA.